10 reasons your desire for security is causing your suffering. Pay close attention till the end. Your life would never remain the same. 1. The flaw in the foundation. We begin with the most common project of adult life, the quest for absolute security. From savings accounts and insurance policies to rigid belief systems and controlling relationships, we spend our energy trying to build a static, unchanging fortress against the fundamental flux of existence. We are taught that achieving safety is the prerequisite for happiness. But Watts reveals the foundational flaw. The universe is inherently dynamic and unstable. The Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu wisely observed, "The softest thing in the universe overcomes the hardest thing in the universe." Water, soft and yielding, carves canyons from stone. Your rigid demand for permanence is a fight against the very nature of reality, and this perpetual conflict, not the external events themselves, is the source of your suffering. 2. The paradox of clinging. This leads to the paradox of clinging. The more desperately you attempt to grasp and hold on to wealth, health, status, or love, the more slippery and elusive they become. When you are terrified of losing something, you have already lost the capacity to enjoy it freely. The Buddhist teaching on attachment is uncompromising. It is the cause of all sorrow. The Roman emperor and Stoic Marcus Aurelius applied this logic to the self. The things you think of as your possessions are not really yours. They are on loan from the universe. The person who clings to life is the person who is most acutely aware of death's constant approach. True security is not found in having an unbreakable grip, but in having an open hand, ready to receive and release whatever comes. 3. The anxiety loop. The desire for security creates a self-fulfilling prophecy, an anxiety loop. Watts pointed out that the effort to achieve security and the feeling of insecurity are the same thing. If you were genuinely secure, you wouldn't need to strive so frantically to attain it. Your striving is the evidence of your fear. This loop is fueled by your mind constantly projecting worst-case scenarios into the future, and then trying to solve those non-existent problems in the present. Jesus posed this question with profound simplicity. Can any one of you, by worrying, add a single hour to your life? The answer is no, but you can certainly subtract joy from the present hour. The only way to break the loop is to stop demanding that life be predictable and simply meet the current moment with your full, unfettered attention. 4. The denial of the wave. To demand security is to deny your own nature. You are not a static object. You are a living, breathing process, a wave that emerges and returns to the ocean of the universe. The wave's identity is entirely dependent on its movement, its rising and its falling. If the wave tried to stop and remain at its crest, it would cease to be a wave. The Taoist concept of yin and yang illustrates this essential balance. Pleasure cannot be separated from pain, success from failure, or life from death. There is no coming to consciousness without pain, observed the psychologist Carl Jung. Your suffering is the psychological pain of the wave demanding to be a permanent separate crest. True wisdom involves accepting the full rhythm of the rise and fall. 5. The power of vulnerability. The radical alternative to the security prison is vulnerability. When you stop trying to fortify your emotional walls, you become permeable, sensitive, and truly alive. This vulnerability is not weakness, it is the ultimate courageous strength. When you admit that you don't know what tomorrow will bring, you free yourself from the responsibility of having to control the impossible. The Persian poet and mystic Rumi wrote, "When you do things from your soul, you feel a river moving in you, a joy." The river only flows when it yields to the forces of gravity and terrain. When you yield your rigid will and allow life's unpredictable current to move through you, your actions become effortless, woo-wee, and infused with genuine joy, because the energy is no longer being spent on futile resistance. 6. The wealth of the present. The final and most liberating lesson is that the only genuine security you possess is the eternal now. When you cease projecting your consciousness into the fearful future or the regretful past, you realize that this precise moment, the feeling of the air on your skin, the sound of your own breath, the clarity of your awareness, is perfectly complete and utterly secure. Nothing ever happened in the past, it happened in the present. Nothing will ever happen in the future, it will happen in the present, argued the spiritual teacher Eckhart Tolle. Your anxiety dissolves because you realize there is no future self to worry about. There is only the present self handling the present reality. This is the ultimate non-monetary wealth, the capacity to be fully present and accept the moment as it is. 7. The illusion of the solid self. The demand for security extends beyond finances and health. It's a profound demand for a solid, unchanging self. We cling to our identities. I am a successful lawyer. I am a loving parent. I am a spiritual person, as if these labels were permanent substances. But the 8th lesson teaches us that the self is a process, not a thing. You are constantly in flux, an ever-changing arrangement of experience and memory, like the continuous flow of a waterfall that appears the same but is composed of perpetually new water. Heraclitus, the ancient Greek philosopher, famously stated, "No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it is not the same river, and he is not the same man." Your suffering arises when the new you feels guilty or inadequate because it doesn't align with the old, secure label you desperately want to maintain. True security lies in the courage to let your self-concept evolve and dissolve, embracing your fluidity. 8. The error of moral accounting. A significant source of suffering tied to the desire for security is the belief in moral accounting, the idea that if you are good, that is, you work hard, save money, and follow the rules, you are guaranteed a proportional reward, security, and happiness. The 9th lesson dismantles this idea. Life simply does not work on a predictable tit-for-tat system. Bad things happen to good people. Chaos is democratic. This recognition is not pessimistic, it is highly liberating. The Hindu text, the Bhagavad Gita, provides the essential instruction here. You have a right to your work, but never to the fruits of your work. When you detach your effort from the expected outcome, you stop feeling victimized when the universe fails to pay your calculated reward. You act with integrity and passion simply because the action itself is intrinsically worthwhile, finally freeing your happiness from the fickle nature of external results. 9. The ultimate freedom, dying before you die. All the previous lessons converge on the 10th and final lesson. To achieve perfect freedom, you must die before you die. This is not a literal instruction, but a call for the complete, radical surrender of the ego's desperate need for control and survival. The fear of death is the ultimate insecurity, and it paralyzes us into living cautiously. By deliberately accepting and mentally rehearsing the full letting go, the dissolution of your body, your memories, and your status, you realize that what is truly essential about you is unkillable. The mystical poet Khalil Gibran encapsulated this profound unity. For what is it to die but to stand naked in the wind and to melt into the sun? When the fear of the ultimate change is removed, the fear of all lesser changes vanishes as well. You become fully present, fully spontaneous, and utterly secure in the knowledge that you are a seamless part of the universal process, which knows no end. 10. The most important lesson everyone should learn before they die is that suffering is caused by the demand for what life cannot provide, permanence and certainty. By dissolving the rigid desire for security and embracing the inherent insecurity of existence, you find the freedom and peace that security was falsely promising. Stop resisting. Start flowing.